Yo. Not live today, but had to get this one out for the Clips channel because there's been an update to Yama's contract system, which they have put out today. So kind of just wanted to cover that one quickly. We're going to go over the news post here. For those that didn't see it, Mod Goblin put out like a leak about how the contract system is going to work and that they're going to be tradable. But it hadn't been spoken about yet. And then No Monkey made a video about it saying, well, tell us how it works. And you know how it works. If No Monkey makes a video about something, they do it. So you know what I'm saying? I need to ask No Monkey to make a video telling my girlfriend to love me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yesterday's speculation about Yama's contract system hit an all-time high. We wanted to clear up some bits ahead of release to make sure everybody's on the same page and understands exactly what these are and what they're for. What follows is a section from next Wednesday's blog. There may be some changes between now and then, but we think this covers most of the important bases. Additionally, sharing this info now gives us the opportunity to answer any lingering questions you might have in next week's game update blog. So we're happy to hear what you've got to say, and we'll aim to address what we can as Yama releases on Wednesday, May 14th. So the boss comes out in 4 days from me recording this right now. Wait, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4 days. What are they? Contracts are tradable agreements that you can bring to Yama, sign on the dotted line, and he'll show you a little more of his power in a more challenging fight, with some kind of guaranteed reward up for grabs if you prove successful. This means that upon obtaining a contract, you'll have to weigh up whether or not you think you can beat it in a single attempt or play it safe and sell it to another player instead. To be clear, Yama in his base form is the intended experience, and this is how the overwhelming majority of players will engage with the boss for most of the time they spend engaging with it. Contracts are an added layer of spice on top for players wanting to push themselves, but the encounter, its rewards, and time to complete are all built off the base experience first and foremost. This is how we were expecting contracts to be. That's what we thought was going to happen. So this is not a surprise, but there are at least 7 bespoke contracts at the moment. Yama will show off more of his power regardless of what contract you sign, but each bespoke contract should change the way that you approach the fight fundamentally, and each of them offers a different reward. This reward is fixed for each contract, and you'll know what the stake is before the fight even starts, meaning complete this version of the fight and you'll walk away with this. They are not make the fight slightly harder and unique, slightly more common kind of system. So this is not how I was expecting contracts to work. Maybe I didn't delve deep enough into it to figure it out, but I assumed that the contracts were like the TOA invocations where you just add them on top of each other. But this sounds a lot better than the TOA invocation system, because it means that there's 7 different fights. I guess the way they're saying it is like it's the same boss, but it will seem like 7 different bosses. If it fundamentally changes the way that you approach each fight. So this is way cooler. I like that a lot better rather than being able to stack them. So that's good. This is what a contract will look like. Contract terms. Some of the restraints on Yama's strength will be removed. It will tell you exactly what happens. If you succeed, you will receive this. And it will tell you exactly what you'll be rewarded with. The kicker with contracts is that you'll have to take Yama down by yourself. This means no getting a friend to carry you, but more importantly, what we wanted to steer clear of figuring out how to handle 2 players with the same contract. Do they do the fight once and get a reward each? Do they have to do the fight twice and risk failing out if one of them underperforms in one of the fights? Does it feel good that Irons need to get a specific contract to tackle stuff with their non-Iron pals? This for me, I don't know how I feel about this. For one, I hate that they're trying to make things Iron Man friendly. You know, the way I always saw the Iron Man game mode is that they chose to restrict themselves. They should be restricted. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is, this was put forth as a duo boss. Everyone was told this is a duo boss, and now we're being told that the harder version of the fight, you have to do it by yourself. which means the easy version of the fight you should be able to easily do by yourself, right? So it's pushing more toward the solo gameplay, and I don't like that. On the other side, when I was going for Grandmaster and I was trying to get some of the team tasks out of the way, the hardest part of the Grandmaster grind was finding a team. So one side, I get that it's like they want to avoid like the toxicity of trying to find teams, boosting, things like that. But on the other side, I'm like, I was really excited to do a challenge with my friends. You know what I mean? So I guess on their side, it's like that's a tough balance to find, because it's super toxic trying to get a perfect top team. Like, if you're not someone that is a huge veteran to RuneScape that has a lot of friends, you'll have a tough time finding people that want to do perfect top with you. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that they're trying to steer clear of that, but at the same time, it's a duo boss. Like, it was, I don't know, man. It's very weird. People are blowing up about it, though. People are not happy about this, but I'm trying to see both sides. I would prefer it to be a duo encounter, or at least some of the contracts be a duo encounter. You know what I mean? Have some of the rewards be in a duo, because then it's more fun to get to do it with friends. Anyway, we think this is the easiest path forward to avoid friends potentially having adverse interactions with each other while fighting what's supposed to be a fun boss. Perhaps we're wrong on this and we're open to adjustments once people have had time to get grips with them, but for now we reckon it's the most sensible approach. I think trying to avoid man-children crashing out at their duo is a bad precedent to set. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're with a duo and they're crashing out because you're underperforming, don't play with them. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand. You just wouldn't hang out with people like that. And then eventually they won't be able to find teammates. And, you know, that's their problem. So I think trying to avoid that by making things solo is just, it's a bad direction to go with the game. But maybe I'm wrong on this. With Wednesday's release, you'll be able to obtain contracts and see the rewards, but Yama has jumbled his terms illegibly. They'll be revealed when the contracts are turned on. Wait, what? You'll be able to obtain contracts and see what the rewards are, but Yama's jumbled his terms illegibly. They'll be revealed when contracts are turned on. We're aiming to enable contracts fully next Friday, May 23rd, giving us time to fix any issues or bugs with the core Yama fight and allow players time to stock up on them in advance so that any completions for World First aren't reliant on getting lucky and being one of the first players with a specific contract. The added benefit here is that you get Friday and the whole weekend to grind or watch the chaos unfold yourself, and some time to get to grips with the core mechanics of the fight, similar to the late activation of Awakened variants for the Desert Treasure 2 bosses. I like this. This is a lot better for a Race to World First, which is super hype. You know, Race to World First top was crazy, and they really dropped the ball with TOA release. So this is better for a Race to World First, because if they release the contracts on day one and they're a tradable drop, if that's the way they're going to go about it, still not sure how I feel about that, but they have to give it a week so that a lot of contracts can come into the game, because not saying I would do this, but someone like me that has a 50 billion GP bank compared to somebody that has maybe 10 bill and not a lot of liquid cash, they would never ever be in the race, because I could just sit there paying 50 mil per contract that they definitely can't afford, and no one else would get a chance to even do them, because I can hoard all of the contracts, and then regardless of how many attempts, then I could just use money to get World First. So I like the fact that they're giving it a week, so it's going to be cheaper for people. How do I get them? You'll obtain a good number of contracts from Yama himself. We expect that you'll passively accumulate a nice stash of them on your way to ticking off those collection log slots. Alternatively, you can target farm certain contracts with lower intensity methods if you're willing to help Yama out. His demons have gotten lazy, and you could do with being kept on their toes. Chat to Yama and learn a little more exactly how you can help him out. The long and short of it is that by killing demons in the Chasm of Fire in specific ways, you have a chance of getting a contract as a drop. To keep you on the right track, Yama will display the glyph that indicates how he'd like you to dispatch of his slackers. Perhaps it's as simple as kill it with magic or kill it while bound. More active methods of dealing with them result in better odds at contract drops. This target farm method is there for you if you're looking to chill out and stack up some contracts for yourself, or if you've used up all your stash from Yama himself and still need a couple of attempts. Though it's worth noting some contracts, particularly with those with guaranteed tradable rewards, can only be obtained from Yama and won't be available from the common chasm cannon fodder. An added benefit here is that doing Demon Slayer task in the chasm should be more appealing for players who just want to sell contracts on. So even if Yama is out of your reach for the time being, you'll still be able to benefit. On top of this, it's an easy lever for us to tweak and make it more or less rare if the balance feels off. So we'll be keeping a close eye on the volume of those entering the game, their price, and feel for the irons. So this means you can just kill the demons in the Chasm of Fire to get contracts, which is nice. You don't have to, it's like the Awakened bosses. You have to kill the bosses, and they're like a 1 in 40 for an orb. It's crazy, right? This, you can just go do your Slayer task in the Chasm. You can't kill them off Slayer task, just to, for people that are looking to stock up on them. Getting a demon task for the release, if you're trying to make a little bit of money, could be an idea. But you need to have a Slayer task for them. But, yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable. What I'm concerned about is like guaranteed tradable rewards from the contracts. What are these guaranteed tradable rewards going to be? Is it just going to be fucking 10,000 rune arrows? You know what I mean? Like, is it just straight alchables, or are we talking about guaranteed oath plate drops? Like, there's no way they would do that, right? But at the same time, it's Jagex, bro. We don't know if like that's a thing that would do, you know? Anyway. One thing we can share is that the contracts for the cosmetic upgrade variant of Oathplate armor, Radiant Oathplate, can be obtained from these demons. We expect this means they'll be in greater supply than the Awakener's orbs, and that trying your hand at these contracts shouldn't break the bank like the chase for Sanguine Torva, while also being much more chill to farm for irons than spending hundreds of hours taking on bosses for any meaningful number of attempts. I was really hoping, after I read that all the contracts would make the fight different, that you would have to complete every contract for them to give you the Oathplate upgrade. But I guess it's just one of the contracts, and it's going to make the fight crazy hard. According to what they've said before, it will be harder than awakened versions of the fight. It'll be harder than the awakened versions of DT2 bosses, this fight, which is crazy. That's awesome. System does share similarities with the Awakener's Orb system, but differ in a number of ways. Contracts or for cosmetics, our target farm will likely end up being cheaper than orbs, while rarer contracts will guarantee some kind of tradable reward that will make them worth more than the initial cost, meaning it doesn't feel like a waste to keep coming back. We're really excited to see you push to your limits by some of these, and can't wait to see the kinds of off-the-wall setups and techniques you can come up with to sit Yama back down in his big throne. Even if you're not sure that contracts are for you, make sure to check out the old school RuneScape category on Twitch or Kick. Once they are activated, it's bound to be some of the best streamed content this year. Damn, they said Kick? Jagex said Kick? That's crazy. We're moving in the right direction. Shout out motherfucking Kick. So yeah, interesting contract system. I think anybody that's going crazy about this before the release needs to just fucking take a chill pill and see what it's like. Wait until it comes out, you know? It is disappointing that it's not going to be a duo fight. I can understand people getting upset about that. That's fair enough. But we just have to sort of wait and see what's going to happen, man. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So I'll just be sitting back watching on release. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of it on release week in order to prepare myself for when the contracts actually do drop. And May 23rd is when the contracts drop. I'll be doing it until I get the upgrade. So I might have to spend a whole bunch of money. We'll see. Hopefully I'll make a bunch of money from the Yama release so that I can do that. But yeah, interesting contract system. I like the way they've gone about it. And I'm interested to see it in game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. See you guys in stream.